Big changes are coming for Brits traveling to Europe, and if you don't know about these new border rules, your next trip could be delayed, or you might even be denied entry. Starting from October 2025, the EU's new digital border system is the biggest change hitting European travel for decades. So listen up, because whether you're going on holiday or traveling for business, this is definitely going to cause delays and confusion if you're not prepared. But by the end of this video, you'll know everything from who it affects, to how it works, and what you absolutely must know for hassle-free travel to Europe in 2025 and 2026. So let's start with exactly what's changing and who it's going to affect. Well, starting on October 12, 2025, the EU is rolling out its brand new automated digital border system. It's called the Entry-Exit System, or EES, and it's going to replace that old-school passport stamp. It will affect all UK and other non-EU passport holders crossing into the European Union for stays of up to 90 days. On your first trip, you'll register at the border by scanning your passport and having your fingerprints and a photo taken. This means that instead of a border officer flipping through your passport, biometric scanners will track your entry and exit automatically. Space-age facial recognition and fingerprint scans will replace traditional passport checks. Now here's where it gets interesting. This system will track every single entry and exit. That means no more confusion about how long you've stayed in Europe. The system knows exactly when you entered and when you left. And for those of you wondering about overstaying your visa, well, they're going to be pretty much impossible to get away with from now on. So where exactly will this be rolled out? And when should you expect to see it? The EES will be a requirement when entering any of the Schengen area countries. This includes all 25 EU member states, plus Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. So basically, almost all of mainland Europe, with the exceptions of Ireland and Cyprus. The new entry-exit system will start operations on the 12th of October 2025, and countries will introduce the system gradually over 6 months until it's in place at all ports, airports and border crossings by April 2026. This gradual implementation is meant to minimize disruption, especially at peak travel times. Most travelers will interact with the entry-exit system when they first arrive in the EU, but if you're traveling from the UK via the port of Dover, or the Eurotunnel or Eurostar, the registration will actually take place in the UK before you even leave. Now you're probably wondering, what will the process actually be like on your first visit, and what happens after that? For your first trip to a participating country after the new system goes live, you'll need to go through the full registration. Passport control officers will scan your fingerprints or take a photo of your face, and this information will be recorded in a digital file. The good news is, once you're registered, it's valid for a rolling 3-year period or until your passport expires. On subsequent entries and exits, you'll just need to scan your passport and provide either your fingerprints or a photo at the border. One question I've heard a lot is whether you can register for this in advance to avoid long queues. And unfortunately, there's currently no widely available system to pre-register your biometrics from home or at an airport kiosk before your trip. This may change in the future, but for now my personal advice is to be prepared to arrive a little earlier than usual for your first trip after October 2025 to give yourself plenty of time. So what are the expected benefits of the new system? Well, the EU says it's all about making things better in the long run, making border checks faster by replacing manual passport stamps with a digital system, and should help everyone spend less time in queues. One of its most important purposes is to track people who enter the Schengen area with a passport, but then overstay their 90-day limit. This system will make it virtually impossible for someone to legally enter and then illegally remain in the EU. Importantly though, it's not designed to stop people who cross borders illegally outside of an official checkpoint. What if you have more than one passport, or you're a legal resident in an EU country? This is a really important point. The EES rules only apply to non-EU citizens traveling for a short stay. So if you hold an EU passport, or if you have a residence permit for a Schengen area country, this new system will not apply to you. You can continue to use your EU passport or resident card to cross borders as you normally would. And finally, I know many people have been asking, what does it mean for our data and personal freedom to have fingerprints and photos recorded by a government agency? It's a really valid question. While the EU maintains the data is being collected purely for security reasons and to help authorities track overstayers and combat serious crime, the fact is this new system fundamentally changes the information authorities have about us. And after all, other countries like Japan and the United States already do this. So I'm really curious to hear from you. Are you concerned by the idea of giving your biometric data at the border? Or do you think it's a fair trade-off for faster travel? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can also check out the official EU entry-exit system website for more information and updates, but there's more. Along with the EES comes the European Travel Information and Authorisation System, or ETIAS for short. It's a new security measure being implemented by the European Union for all travellers coming from any of the 60 currently visa-exempt countries, including the USA, Canada, and even visitors from the UK. Now, according to the official EU website, the ETIAS is expected to start 6 months after the rollout of the EES is completed, so around October 2026. So what is it exactly? ETIAS is a mandatory pre-travel screening process that aims to enhance border security, making entry into Europe smoother and more secure by knowing about who's coming to the European Schengen area before they even arrive. And it's very similar to the ESTA scheme in the United States or Canada's electronic travel authorization scheme. You'll need to apply online before your trip, and you'll need to provide some basic personal information like your passport details, name, citizenship info, and some other security info like your planned destination. It'll cost you €7, but it's free if you're under 18 or over 70. Officially, you should apply at least 96 hours before your trip, but my advice is don't leave this to the last minute. Get it sorted out in advance, because there's bound to be some hiccups when the system is first introduced. The good news, though, is once you get your ETIAS approval, it's valid for 3 years or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. And you can make multiple trips during this time, as long as you don't stay more than 90 days in any 6-month period. You can keep an eye on the EU website for updates, but despite all these changes, Europe is still an incredible place to travel. So if you're interested in discovering Europe's less crowded hidden gems, then you need to watch this video here next. Don't forget to leave me a comment with any questions about the new entry-exit or ETIAS schemes. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel videos like this. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.